guys, it's your girl. Sometimes I read a form of media that just sticks with me. It could be for an intellectual reason, like something so big and broad that over the past next few days I'm just thinking about it and I start to realize more and more of it. Or it could be an interesting concept that makes me change my view on the world. Or it could be even something that makes me want to improve something about myself, something that makes me want to change an aspect of myself. But sometimes I read a piece of media and it sticks with me, not for any of those reasons, but because it infuriates me. Something that no matter how many angry screams I scream or how many times I put my head in my hands and just cry, can I ever erase from my fucking brain. And one of those things is this fucking manga called Boku wa Sachan or Dear Sachan. I picked up this manga in 2019 when it first came out, and after reading the first volume, I was literally so put off that I just put it down and I was like, never again. But for some reason, I don't know, I love trash, and I was thinking maybe it wasn't as bad. Maybe my prefrontal cortex is finally fully developed now that I'm 29. I can maybe fully enjoy this manga with all the context in it and not get so peeved off. But look where we are. I faithfully follow and am in love with all that is trashy manga, but this is an aberration. Okay? This is a spot on humanity that should not exist anymore. This is a tear in a reality that needs to be erased. This is something that I would gladly go down into hell for just to ensure I see it burning in the flames alongside with me. But let's start from the top. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I need you to understand. But before we continue, I would like to give thanks to today's sponsor, Tokyo Treat. Tokyo Treat is a monthly Japanese snack subscription box that gets delivered right to your door. Experience Japan through the comfort of your own home. Each box is filled with up to 20 seasonal, limited edition, and Japan-only snacks, all within this uniquely styled box. Each month has its very own theme, and this month's theme is... Moonfest Snacktacular! Each box comes with its very own pamphlet, detailing some Japanese history, as well as information on every snack inside, like any potential allergies. Now, I'm going to try one of these snacks, and there's a lot to pick from, but I think I'm going to end up trying the Full Moon Rabbit Senbei. Aw, look at the tubby little guy! Alright, let's try this bad boy. If you too would like to try Tokyo Treats, then please check out the link in my description, as well as use code Sydsnap for $5 off your first Tokyo Treat box. Thank you again to Tokyo Treats, and now back to the video. I'm going to be telling you essentially the whole entire basic plot of Boku wa Sachan. Now, I'm not going to be going into detail of every aspect of the manga. I mean, it's like 5 volumes, and not every aspect is essential. So if you want to get the full experience, go ahead, but let's just go. Now, Dear Sachan follows the story of a freshly high school graduated new college university student named Katagiri. Now, this sack of shit for a male lead just moved from Hokkaido to Tokyo, which is kind of like it's far, as he is attending university in Tokyo. Now, Katagiri, finally graduating from high school, is about to experience a whole new chapter of his life, but not exactly whole new, because he has a long-term girlfriend named Sachan. Now, Sachan is still back in Hokkaido where they met and where they're from. And they started dating when they were in middle school. So it's been a long time. It's been 4 years, essentially. But Sachan wanted to stay at a Hokkaido university. Obviously, Katagiri got accepted into a better university in Tokyo. So they decided to do a long-distance relationship. Now, Katagiri is a handsome guy who he himself admits that he just doesn't really feel emotions. He has trouble feeling anything towards anybody. And the only reason he wanted to date Sachan in middle school was because he could see Sachan was a very bright and energetic girl, and he wanted to start feeling emotions like that. So he thought by dating her and kind of spending a lot of time with her, he will start to change and become more like her. But throughout those 4 years or so, they've not really gone beyond really hand-holding and kind of kissing. And that's because Sachan didn't feel she was ready to have that sort of intimacy yet. She didn't want to experience that because she didn't feel she was ready, and that is completely fine. And right from the get-go, we see Sachan is a solid S-tier girlfriend. Anything Katagiri needs, she gets it for him. Anytime he wants to like talk about anything, or if he's ever feeling anything, which he doesn't, but if he ever feels like maybe seems sad or looks like he could use somebody, she's there in an instant. Cooking for him, cleaning for him, he doesn't even have to lift a goddamn finger. So she sounds perfect. She's completely in love with Katagiri. She doesn't really know that he can't really feel any emotions or anything yet, but she still loves him. She still wants everything with him to work. But when this son of a bitch moves into his new Tokyo apartment, he goes over to meet his neighbor, and his next door neighbor is called Shino, a married older woman. Now when Shino opens the door, she's showing her cleavage. She's clearly like, ooh, sensual, sexy, a mysterious and calm older woman who seems to be experienced and knowing of the world. Now Shino's husband is traveling away at work and is barely around. And so guess what? Yeah, guys, doesn't take much to think. Immediately, those two begin f***ing. Literally right after they meet, literally first chapter. And they keep f***ing for nearly a year. All the while, Katagiri is still with Sa-chan. They are exchanging letters. She's saying how much she misses him, how much she loves him, how she wants to come down to Tokyo soon to see him. Just full of love. While Katagiri is just like, yeah. And then he just goes f***s another woman and just doesn't feel really all that guilty about it. Now, nearly a year after all of this kind of began, Sa-chan was able to go down to Tokyo to visit him, and she kind of continues to visit him a few times. And by the way, Hokkaido's not close to Tokyo. It's about an hour-and-a-half plane ride, and yeah, that's not very long in the grand scheme of things, but in Japan, when there's such quick and easily accessible other forms of transportation like Shinkansen, using a plane is like obviously more expensive and harder thing to do. And Sa-chan, while staying at his house, is none the wiser. One time she did find a condom in his room, and you know, she's thinking, well, we're not doing it. What the hell? Why do you have a condom? He's like, oh, my friend, he left it here. And she believed it. Oh yeah, friends, you know how they just go to your house and just leave condoms all over the place. That's just so silly. What a prank, bro. And one time, while Sa-chan is there, after cooking and cleaning his apartment, showing him affection, showing him love, decides to go to bed, and he's just like, I'm gonna go next door and I'm gonna go f*** my neighbor. I'm just gonna f*** her next door while Sa-chan's just in the next room over, sleeping, being none the wiser. God. What a piece of shit! Now, although Sa-chan might be naive, she's not dumb. She starts to realize, not even long after she first sees him the first time coming to Tokyo, that something's off with him. Something's not right, but she can't really put her finger onto what yet. And all the while she's kind of slowly putting pieces together, not really, sort of starting to think of like, what's going on, we are introduced to some useless side characters. And these side characters are Katagiri's university friends. Now, of these friends, one is a girl called Misuzu, who was, for some random reason, they decided to have her go to the same university as Katagiri and Sa-chan. And she one time confessed to Katagiri, but Katagiri cannot remember her. All she knows is like he rejected her because, you know, he was with Sa-chan. And then I guess she still likes him because anytime he does like anything, no matter how bad it is, she's just kind of like, he's just dreamy. He's just dreamy. And I do not know why. I do not see. I need this manga to explain to me why these bitches like this guy. Okay, he's handsome, sure, but he literally doesn't show emotion. He's just kind of there. Like, okay? And the manga tries to make Misuzu be like the voice of reason. You are literally seeing the guy you like consistently cheat on his girlfriend, and you're just still like, don't do it, but awesome! Walking, talking, fucking red flag on parole. Shoot on sight, motherfucker. And then we have another friend who is called Asahi, who is just a playboy in university. He has a lot of sex friends, but I guess he also has feelings for Misuzu. So it's kind of like a small little love triangle, I guess. And what do you do when you find yourself having feelings for someone? Well, sexual assault, of course, especially when they already rejected you. Yeah, I'm talking about this scene where Misuzu and Asahi are at a izakaya. He follows her to the bathroom. He's just like, oh, I like you, you know, Katagiri is cheating on his girlfriend, but he already has a girlfriend anyway, so why not give me a shot? And she's just like, no, thank you. And he's just like, okay, bet. Let me just grab your arms, force you into the bathroom, make you feel like you're unable to escape, pin you down as I'm about to kiss you before I'm stopped, and then I'm just like, huh? Let me share with you guys a secret that they don't know. A get out of jail free card, if you will. Just say it's a prank, bro! Say it was a joke! All he did after he was caught about to sexually assault somebody, in fact, kind of already did, was say, I'm joking! And then everyone's just like, oh my god, you crazy guy! That is so funny! So throughout these manga, these two are just sticking to our male lead like glue. And then suddenly, Katagiri falls down a bunch of stairs and gets really hurt. And then these two just disappear, which is odd considering they were there for every chapter and throughout every scenario that was going on in the manga, but Katagiri falls down a bunch of stairs and ends up hurting himself and needs to go to the hospital. Sa-chan finds out, even though she's in Hokkaido, she's like, I gotta get on that plane, I gotta go to my boyfriend, he's in pain, he needs me. First of all, for a university student, same day flights, Just saying, maybe I'm being realistic here. That's a lot of money. So she runs into him at the hospital, is immediately like worried, sick, and is relieved to see he's fine. And then for some reason in that moment, he's just like, I'm gonna go ahead and tell her I'm cheating on her and I've actually never really felt any love towards her. I've actually only really wanted to be with you because you could maybe make me potentially feel some emotions and you don't, so I don't really care about you. And Sachan's like sitting there like, hey, yo, bitch, I did not just travel freaking out, stressed this whole fucking way. Nobody's really telling me much. Just to be told this. No, actually, she didn't say that. She said, all right, I hear what you're saying. I found out, yes, you cheated on me. You slept with another girl. It was the neighbor, right? Okay, yeah, sure. How about you keep sleeping with other people and just don't tell me? And how about you come take my virginity? This is time now. This is what I've been waiting for. This is the exact moment. How about you let's leave the hospital, virginity loss, I'm in. Let's go. So what do? They go and do that, of course. They go to a love hotel and she loses her virginity and they start going on about their relationship. But actually, Katagiri becomes somewhat better because he goes to Shino. It's like, hey, I already told my girlfriend, we talked things out. She said it's fine that I sleep with you still, but I don't feel like I want to. I want to try to be better for her because she seemingly tried to be more understanding of me. I think we're about to get on a good spot in our relationship. And Shino's just like, well, what? She said it's fine. Why can't we still keep banging? And he's just like, did you not hear me? Are you deaf? So they go into ignoring each other. So he does slightly become better. And holy shit, the bar is low. How is that becoming better? Hey, just don't cheat on me. Don't just sleep with other women. Oh, thank you. You're such a good boyfriend. After a few months together, Katagiri weirdly starts to feel emotions, like he always hoped he would. He starts to feel excitement, and he actually does end up falling in love with Sachan. And Sachan, you can't tell, he couldn't tell at least, although appears very happy and like her usual self, still cooking, still cleaning, still being there for him, even though he's just kind of there, doesn't do anything. Inside, she's like still heartbroken that he cheated on her, and she kind of starts to realize, I don't think I do love him. I think I fell out of love with him. And so like the goddamn fucking girl boss she is, she breaks up with him. And I can just say, this was like a nice little a little yummy revenge for me. You know, she could have easily just been like, all right, you don't love me, you cheated on me, okay, go f yourself. Like, you know, I would say, I would. First breakups are hard, but Lord knows I wouldn't be sticking around after that. Instead, she went through a whole thing like, okay, I'll be with you. He actually does end up falling in love with her. And then she's like, okay, you love me? Bye. Like, that hurts so much more than if she just left in the hospital. So Katagiri is devastated. He wants her back so badly. Sachan's like, I'm going back to Hokkaido. I'm not looking back. And she begins to date somebody from her university a little while later. So it's like reverse NTR, bitch! Reverse NTR! All the while Katagiri beginning to realize he's never gonna get Sachan back, he's bawling his little eyes out in the apartment that he's living in right next door to Shino. Shino's husband comes back from work and he knows what's been going on. You might be asking, how? He's been traveling for work, how would he know? Well, because like any sane husband would do, he put private cameras inside of his wife's apartment, little spy cameras. She didn't know. Of course she didn't. Because why would you be f***ing another guy in front of your husband's spy cameras? And he is pissed, okay? Not pissed really with his wife. He's just kind of like, oh, you know, things happen, you know, we'll work through it. But he is pissed as shit with Katagiri. So he goes next door and is just like, get on your knees, and he does. Katagiri doggies us, which is like, you're really kind of protruding yourself. It's like the utmost apology you can give to somebody. Kind of like a humiliating thing to do. It's something that you have to do when you're super sorry. And that was so lovely to see, my guys. I wanted to rip that page out of that manga and just chew on it, eat it. I wanted to make it into a Michelin goddamn meal. And then he said, listen, you need to give me some consolation money. 2 million yen. Now, if you guys did not watch one of my previous videos about an author and consolation money in Japan essentially works like this. You are married to a Japanese person, and you find out your Japanese partner in Japan was having an affair with another person. You can confront that other person and be like, give me this amount of money. Consolation money is sort of like a way for that partner to make up for what they did for kind of causing you emotional damage. And I don't really know legally how much you know, there's a standing in it, but I'm sure there must be a lot of ways to kind of push somebody to give you that money besides just feeling bad. Okay, after rereading this while looking for pictures for the manga, I just want to clarify, I did mistake one part, and that's when the consolation money and them breaking up, it was actually the husband asked for the consolation money first, and then right after that, Sachan broke up with him. Although I'm being pretty like quick and like not using much information while I'm talking, I don't want to mess up anything regarding like the timeline or anything. So he tells Katagiri, second year now, university student, 2 million yen. Get it going. He tells Katagiri, you're probably not gonna have 20 or 10, look at 2 million yen ready for me anytime soon. Just give me 20,000 yen and deliver it to me in person every single month until it's all paid off. So he starts to work a few part-time jobs while going to university. And then we have time skip number 1. 4 years have passed and Shino and her husband have stayed together. Oddly, the affair has really brought them all closer together, including Katagiri, because every month he's had to deliver 20,000 yen, like 200 bucks. They get to talking and they feel a little closer. It's kind of weird when I think about it, or even when I first saw it, because why would you feel friendly towards the person your wife was having an affair with? Anyway, we find out that Shino and her husband have a child, a little baby girl called Nao-chan. Remember this part, okay? It's gonna be important later. Katagiri finally gave the last bit of consolation money to them and was like, well, I have no reason to see you guys anymore. I'm gonna bounce. And he just kind of never sees them again, even though it seemed like they kind of were growing a weird friendship. Sachan ended up marrying that guy that she was seeing in university in Hokkaido and ended up having 2 children with him, much to Katagiri's dismay, because he is still at this point not over Sachan. No matter how many girls he's seen, he just is just like still bawling at the wall, staring at her picture, wondering when she's coming home, and she's not! Burn in hell, motherfucker! And then after that, time skip number 2 happens. He is now 38 and is at a high position in his company because instead of working on love or any other type of life aspects, he devoted himself to his work. Now near his company, there is like a bento stall people can walk outside to, and one of the girls who's working there is a girl called, wait for it, Na-chan. Now Katagiri often goes to this bento shop because it's convenient for when he's at lunchtime at work, and Na-chan really likes Katagiri. She thinks she's like super handsome, and she's always begging for him to go on a date with her. Now Na-chan is a lot younger than Katagiri. He assumes that she's in university, like 18, 19. He's 38, could be her dad, but whatever. But suddenly it was just like, you know what? Sure, let's go on a date. And it was kind of alluded, I think it's because he heard Na-chan and he just thought of Sachan and he's just like, oh, sure, I'll go on a date with you because I'm feeling nostalgic. So a few days later, they go to an aquarium where they share a kiss. They thus decide to begin to date. But here's the fucking kicker, guys, okay? Because Na-chan, yeah, it was that baby. It was the baby Katagiri saw. She's the daughter of the woman he was fucking. Her husband is going to be furious when he finds out. I want to see it. And now, yeah, math, she's actually 15. Katagiri actually finds it out as well. And instead of being like, ooh, ew, whoa, yikes, he's just like, and this is me translating it, but he says, well, what are you gonna do? I should be happy. My guy, happy with the f***ing baby you saw when you were delivering consolation money? You home-wrecking slut? Right before, when we find out all this information, we find out that she's just like, oh, I feel a spark with him. I feel like something's perfect with him. When I turn 16, I need to marry him. Like, are you sure? You're feeling a spark, bitch? Are you sure that feeling isn't you shitting in your diaper? We saw her as a baby, guys. He saw... I've read plenty of manga like this, okay? I'm totally anticipating comments to be like, oh, if you think this is bad, you should read Usagi Drop. Bitch, I was there. I was there before I even knew the ending. I read the whole manga and then I got there and I have to live with that trauma. But at least throughout the manga, Usagi Drop at least had wholesome moments. All you have to do is erase the ending from your mind, okay? And then it's just like, it's a good wholesome guy. Whereas this manga just felt like a constant waste of time. It kind of felt like every character in it was stupid. I don't really get what the, okay, let me get, I'm just still just thinking about the baby. The baby? This was a train wreck through and through, and not the fun kind. The ending was just the icing on the cake. It was literally, hey, you're your affair partner's daughter, the one you saw the baby! And I couldn't relate to any of these characters because every choice they made, I couldn't get behind. Like, Sachan finds out he cheated on her and it's just like, hey, you want to take my virginity now? Bait, process what he just said! He doesn't love you! I just don't understand really who this manga was for. Apparently, I'm in the minority here because a lot of people must have felt different because there is a live action drama of it. I took it off the manga because I wanted to surprise you with that because isn't that shocking? It's very brand new. I think it only came out like a few months ago. So I don't know, but I'm not watching it. I've given too much of myself to this story. I don't want to give any more. Now, I've read the author of this manga other works, and that other work I read was called Inu to Kuzu. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the beginning concept of that, but I really did not like the writing of that one either. Inu to Kuzu is another questionable work in my opinion that could be another video in and of itself. I really do like his art style though. That's actually what kind of drew me into reading his mangas. It's not overly cute and it kind of fits a very psychological serious vibe while still having an aesthetic look. And even Sachan had quite a few of its very own gorgeous panels that let me kind of look beyond the story that I was forced to indulge in. And I'm just gonna end this by saying, I love trashy manga. There is probably not a trashy manga out there that I haven't read. I feast on it like I'm starving, like I haven't had any water in the middle of the desert, and it is my pee. I'll drink it. That's how much I love trashy manga. That made sense. It's in Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul. But this one really did steal a bit of my soul that I feel I'm not gonna come back from with that. No. I feel a little more dead inside, that's for sure. And I'm gonna go ahead and read My Girlfriend Isn't Here Today just to cleanse myself. I need a break, everybody. But yeah, either way, thank you guys for watching this video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This manga is officially translated, so if you want to read it, even after all I've said, go to the official translation. Either way, thank you guys again. Oh god, even just talking about it, I feel like so dead inside. Thank you guys again, I'll see you guys next time. Adieu. Oh god.